All right, hello, good afternoon again, and welcome to our crash course teaching and remote learning. This is our day three, our course three. So for today, we will be learning using SeeSaw and Flipgrid for student submission. Again, I am Mitchell. I am an MYP science and design teacher, and welcome to our crash course for teaching in remote learning. Before we move on to our agenda this afternoon, I will just be answering a question from uh, yesterday's course. So there was a question on uh, what if the students experience, technical difficulties or problems during the test day when they're um, doing the quiz or the test, and then it run out of time or it's submitted, how can he or she retake it? Okay, so here is how your student can retake in case a problem is experienced by your student. Okay, so you go to your classwork, you go to the test or the quiz, for example, macronutrients and micronutrients, and then choose your student. Okay, so for example, okay, so I'm gonna choose my student. For example, okay, Mary Lee experienced a problem. Okay, you see that it's 0/22, for example, or yeah, she needs to take it again. Then just click her name and then click delete quiz submission. So once you delete this, she can take it again. Okay, so during the test, if your student experiences a problem and she needs to retake it, then you can do that. All right. Okay. All right. So that's how you're going to. Now let's move on to our agenda this afternoon. So we are going to learn using SeeSaw and Flipgrid for student submission. Again, this is just a crash course, so we'll just have like a brief introduction. How are you going to jumpstart with your SeeSaw and Flipgrid, and what are the things that you can do with the application? So we'll get to know the platforms. I'll be teaching you how you can post work in SeeSaw, assigning activity or scheduled activity in SeeSaw. How can you make student reflections through Flipgrid? How you can engage your students through Flipgrid, and the assessment and feedback. So those are the things that we will be tackling this afternoon. Right. Okay, so let's start with SeeSaw. Okay, so how is your student, or how are you going to start doing your SeeSaw? So you have to sign up as a teacher. So I'm a teacher. Since I already have an account, so it's here, I just sign in, or you can sign up, create an account, or you can sign in if you have your Google account. But again, if you will be using your Google account, then you will be needing your VPN for that. But don't worry, you can create with like Yahoo Mail or your iCloud. That will be fine. So when you sign in, or when you sign up, you will be seeing this screen. So on the top left corner, you will see here when you click it, you will see here all your classes and the school that you are working in. Right. So like for me, I have classes here, and you can click plus create new class if you will be making a new class. Here, if you choose, let's say grade 8 science, right? So you will see here grade 8 science. This is your journal. When you click activities, right? So these are the assigned activities to your students, scheduled activities, and activities that you are child. Inbox, you can get messages okay, from your students and from your family, and you will see here you're connected to parents as well. Okay, so for example, for me, I am connected with Nilab, or the student SeeSaw is connected to their parents, for Nilab and Kevin. And what's good with SeeSaw, if you have if you have the premium account, okay, you can actually grade their submissions here. Okay, so what I did, so later I will be discussing how I did the student submissions. Okay, so for because of the remote learning, or because of what happened because of the school closure, SeeSaw decided to have their home learning codes. Okay, so basically, this home learning codes is the code that you will be giving to your students. It's presets that students can complete activities, view their journal, and view announcements. However, students will not see other students' work. So you can treat these codes like passwords and store them securely. But in my case, I don't need to do the home learning codes anymore because I have my students using this SeeSaw for years already. So yeah, but if you wanted, okay, so you can download this and send it to them. But you can also, okay, add students by clicking this tool here and click plus students. Okay, so when you click plus students, your student code or your SeeSaw code will appear here. Okay, and this SeeSaw code is, or it restarts every 7 days. So there is a new code after 7 days. And again, please do not share this code on your social media. So for example, here I have ETMZUFXE. All right. So it will expire in 7 days. So don't worry. Okay. And yeah, here you will see your students. You can add students here and families here. Or again, you know, students can just join using the code that you gave them. Now, how am I going to create a new class? So again, so that's what we are concerned of. So just click create new class. So for example, I have my Science 8 remote learning thing. And then choose your grade level, 8th grade, and then click. And then here, you can create your class. Now, how can your student sign up for this, or go to your SeeSaw class? Okay, so for your students, it will appear like this. Okay, so I'm a student, and then student can sign in using a QR code or using the text code that you gave. So the text code, like for this one, again, you can find it here, click the tool here, and then the SeeSaw code is here, plus sign, okay. And oh yes, okay. So you can choose if you want your student to sign in using their Google account or email address, okay. So here, if you click yes, it means that student will sign in using their Google account or email address. So you can click yes, and then there you go. Okay, so it's LNTNEYVB. So here, so I can just click LNTN, LNTN, EYVB, and then go. And then here I will be prompted that I need to write my name first, my first name, last name, email address, and password. So yeah, that's how you can sign up your students for your SeeSaw class. Now, in case that your students already have SeeSaw, then they just have to add the code, right? And yep. And then you can add families also. You can change the settings here, okay? Like the grade level. You can connect other teachers also. For example, you are two teachers teaching the same class or the same subject, okay? You can connect them with each other, okay? Change the class name, class icon, and then, yeah, the student sign-in mode. If they will be signing up using their um, Google or email account or shared devices or one-on-one, but I recommend for middle school students, use the email or Google. And also, you can set it here, your class settings, if you wanted your students to see each other's work. If you want new items to require approval. So for this, like for example, they sent a project or a task, a submission, and you want it to be approved first before the submission will be seen or will be posted and turn it on. I suggest you do this one. You do turn this on. And yes, for item editing, I also suggest for you to let your students and um, edit their work and also enable family access. Yes. Okay. So again, you will see there if their parents are um, seeing or accessing their kids' journal. You can invite families. Oh, there are, yes, you can invite families. What I did with my class is I print before, okay, so during the regular class, I printed this invitation. What's good with SeeSaw is you can print the invitation in several languages, like in Korean, in Chinese. So we have students from different nationalities, so you can have it uh, translated. Okay, so it's pre-translated for us. It's not a problem. And then yeah, this one is really good. You can enable class blog. So your journal or your class's journal will be turned into a class blog. It's good for you as well because this will be your teaching portfolio. So you can enable this. Okay, and yeah, yep. Okay, so you can enable the class blog and everything. And yeah, so this skills I will be discussing further later. And yeah, that's how you can start with your class in SeeSaw. So what are the things that you can do with SeeSaw? Okay, you can post tasks or activities, work, okay? And how are you going to do that? So just click the plus button here. You will see here post student work, assign activity, send announcements, and okay, so post student work. In post student work, you can post a picture. So you can take a picture or you can upload a file, okay, PDF file, video file, photo file. For video file, it's limited to 5 minutes. Um, so yes, if you have an instructional video that your student wanted to watch, or if you wanted to post your students to post video, they can do that as well. Um, they can also do drawing with this one. I really like. It's like screencasting. Students are drawing or explaining something, and while they are recording their voices, so you will really know how they answer the question. I really recommend this for math especially, or for some like what physics, chemistry, okay, those that need explanation how they arrive at their answer. So you can post a question, a prompt, and then you can tell them that um, they will be answering. Oh, they will be answering through. You will be answering through SeeSaw, and then you have to record yourself, and then while answering the question, so you have to explain it. So in this way, you will really know if the student is knows how to compute or how to answer the question. What is the concept behind that? This I think enables us to assess our students genuinely, because they're not just, arriving at their final answers or their answers, but rather they explain, they demonstrate understanding on how those answers were how they got those answers. Okay, so you can also post a note. Note is like, here, kindly answer the following question. Okay, questions. All right, something like that, and then you can click the plus the check button to submit it. Okay, so you can start over. You can also record a video. Yeah. Hi. All right. Okay. And also a link. Okay, so a web link here. All right. So yeah, that's how you are going to post student work. Another thing is, this is what I like, is you can also post an activity, an assigned activity, a scheduled activity. So again, you can do it Saturday and then schedule everything for the following week. What's good with this is there is a community library where you can see all the other teachers' work. You can get ideas from them. Okay, you can send it to your students also. So if you are looking for a, let's say, subject in, okay, I'm gonna go to community library. I wanted to look for, okay, I wanted to look for activities in math, in science, in history. So I'll just click, okay, search activities for this grade. So a lot. It's really awesome. A lot of activities that you can give to your students while they are remote or while they are at home. Okay, so we'll see here history, art and music, everything. So anyway, all right. So like, for example, for me, I created some. Okay, I have this library here. For example, last year I taught grade 8 students, and now I'm teaching grade 8 students. I'll just look for the activity I gave them. Okay, I wanted them to do investigating the diversity of proteins. Okay, what's good with this is, again, you can, you can assign it to your students, and you can create another activity. Okay, so here, this is my collection. So all of the activities I created for my students. And okay, so if I'm going to create a new activity, why it's not working? All right, it's taking time. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's, yeah, basically that's how you can submit assignment or create activities for your students. You can, again, you can post like images, like this one, I created an image for this. And you can also submit PDF files, and then your student will just answer their questions and then submit it back to you. How are they going to submit it? Okay, I'm going back to the class. Are here. Okay, so this is the activity. Okay, so like, for example, sorry, this is the activity. For example, visible thinking, zoom in. I wrote the directions here. So look carefully at the illustration. What cell structures are labeled. So I added an image here, and then I also recorded an instruction. So basically, I just read the instruction and then recorded it. And then here I will see how many responded to my assignments and how many needs approval, how many did not respond, when did I assign it. Okay, and here you will see your student's submission. Okay, again, if you have any questions, just message in the group chat. And let me go back to my class. All right, so what are the things that you can ask your students to submit? Like, for example, here I asked them to make an infographic about sports supplements, so they can send that PDF file or JPEG. Okay, that will work. What's good with this is you can ask students to comment or make feedback. Okay, and also when you click this, you or your student can edit the item. You can also put folders if you wanted. You can assign folders so that it will be organized. Okay. So what are okay? So here I asked them to explain the digestive system here. So you can actually ask your student to explain it while they are annotating it at the same time. So yeah, here that's taking time. Okay, so let's try to listen at the submission. Okay, let's try. Division of the human digestive tract is the upper digestive tract, composite of the mouth. Okay, so as you can see, students can annotate. So the student just put the photo or the image, and then student can annotate. Student can also draw. Student can explain math concepts, physics concepts, bio concepts, like in every subject. Okay. All right. Okay. So what's good with this is okay. So what I do is I provide feedback. Okay. So there are things that they need to consider and they need to modify. Again, for giving feedback, of course, we wanted them to feel good with their submission. We start with a positive feedback. What's good? What's excellent with their work? What are the things that they did well with their submission? And what are the things that they need to improve more? Okay. So constructive feedback, constructive and timely feedback. So yes, okay. So that's also you can ask them to send a video. Okay, so for example, here I asked them to send a video submission about a digestive problem. So all of their tasks, the workflow, remember yet from yesterday. So I did it in Edmodo, then I asked them to submit in SeeSaw. So I add smash these tools, these learning platforms to make it more interactive for the students. So I use the Edmodo for the workflow, but I asked them to submit through SeeSaw. Okay. All right. So yeah, okay. And you can put comments here, and students can comment also. What I like about this one, okay, oh yeah, so this one also. It's a good one. I like the transition of the video here. I like how she created her. It's very creative and artistic. Okay. And what I like about SeeSaw is if you have the premium account, just all right, anyway, if you have the premium account, you can grade your students, so you can tag them with a skill. What I did with my skills is I actually created and made it into the criterion that we are grading our students in IB MYP. So as you can see, I have here my 8A1. So that's my code. 8A1, it means it's grade 8, it's criterion A, strand 1. Okay, so describe scientific knowledge, and then you can use 4 stars. Okay, you can use also 6 stars, but I just chose 4 stars to correspond to level 1, 2, level 3, 4, level 5, 6, level 7, 8. So here, okay, so if the submission is, if she was able to describe scientific knowledge well with her submission, then I can give an 8, or I would want to give her 6 to 7 or 3 to 4. Okay, but okay, so it's the way it's helpful and easy way to assess your student submission. So you can just pick, okay, which which skills or which criterion are you grading your, or are you assessing your students. So for example, it's A2 also, so I just click and I just can click here. So it's really convenient and easy for us. And then you can also add new skills. Okay, so this, you can see here, these are all for grade 8 students. I also have for grade 9, I also have for grade 10. That's how you provide feedback and also to assess your students' skills and through the submissions. And here, okay, you will see how many items they submitted. And again, this is the summary of everything. So for example, here, now 5 and 2 here doesn't mean that it's 2, 2, okay? It's the number of submissions they, like here, it's 5, like 5 submissions, 2 submissions, 2 submissions, okay? All right, so yeah, that's how you can start your SeeSaw experience with your students. Now let's move on to Flipgrid. So again, for SeeSaw, I use this for my student submissions, video submissions, screencast submissions, explaining concepts, if they have posters or if they have artworks, they can send it here. What's good, I suggest maybe for art, they can post, this could be their process journal. So from start until the end day. So from start, there's the sketch, and then they can have a little explanation with that. Okay, because if they took a picture, you can ask them to explain or to reflect on their submission. And okay, let's see, grade 9. Here, as you can see, you will be prompted if there are submissions. You can have them explained. Okay, so do I have a picture? Okay, so here it's a meiosis video. You can ask them to submit it, just a picture, and then explain it. It will be good. I think it's in the grade 8 science. So let's see. I asked them to submit a picture or an image, okay, and then they just explain it. Is it here? Okay, let me check your submissions here. I think it's with Gordon. Let's see. Oh yeah, by the way, you can also check, like, click your student, so you will see your students, all your students submitted work here. Yeah, here, like you can ask them to just send an image, and then you can also have them explain it. Okay, for example, here, he explained it, what the concept is. And then what's good with SeeSaw also is at the end, if the teacher asks, or if your coordinator or if your parent asks, okay, what did my kid submitted for the entire remote learning or for the entire term, you can print it. Okay, SeeSaw will right away process it for you, and then you can just have it printed, and then you can submit it. These are my classes or students' work. You can view it and print the PDF. Okay, and then you can download it, and then you can see it right away. Okay, so that's for your SeeSaw. Okay, again, if you have any questions, just feel free to message in the chat box, and I am more than willing to explain it further for you. Okay, so let's just wait for it to be downloaded. Right, so that's how you can do it in SeeSaw. And now for my Flipgrid. Okay, so this is Flipgrid. Okay, I'll be sending the link for your SeeSaw. By the way, for SeeSaw, if you're using your browser, you just go to app.seesaw.me, and if you have your iPad, then you can just go to the App Store, or you can go to your Google Play, right? For Google Play, and then just download SeeSaw. Okay, it's SeeSaw. I'll be sending the link for the SeeSaw and also for Flipgrid. Now for Flipgrid, I usually use this for class discussion or for some discussions if they wanted to, if you wanted to give them a prompt and then they will just answer, if you have a miss discussion or a very interesting discussion and you wanted to hear or listen to your students, what are they thinking? Or it could be a daily reflection or weekly reflection of what they learned. So I use this in Flipgrid. I use Flipgrid for that. Okay, why? Because it engages the students, it empowers their voices. So how are you going to sign up? So just click edit, educator sign up here. Okay, since I have my Flipgrid already, I'm going to educator log in here. And so this is my grid. Okay, so a grid is for your classroom or your remote learning class, virtual class. And here you will see all the grids. So what I did is I created grids for each of my classes. Okay. Now, how are your students going to go to your SeeSaw? Okay. Oh, sorry, to your Flipgrid. All right, so here, okay. All right, so this is my grid. All right, okay, so this is my grid. And I have my MYP design, I have my grade 8, my grade 9, I have also for my grade scholars, you will see here how many topics you created and how many videos submitted. So let's see, grade 8 design, grade 8 science. Okay, so for grade 8 science, what I did is I have this weekly reflection. So I just give them the code. Okay, you can also share the QR code or just the code here. If they have the Flipgrid app, okay, for example here, student can just download Flipgrid, and then here you enter the flip code. Where is the flip code? This is the flip code. It's 27E44A. So they will just write here 27E44A. And then, okay, that's right? So yeah, then they can start posting here. So here I have grade 8 science hot topics. Okay, they can just click the plus button here and they can get started. Okay, so here they have to log in with their Google or Microsoft, and then yeah. So here, what did I learn this week? So I put here prompts. They answer these questions in your responses, and they can. What's good with Flipgrid is students can be engaged with their classmates, especially right now. They are in remote learning. They are in every, they are staying at home. Okay, they can see, and you can see also your students' submission here. So for example, here. So these are my students' reflection every week. Okay. Okay, and how can you, okay, so here, like for example, I want to listen to, okay, to Mackie. Right, here, you can also give feedback. You can grade them also. You can create your own if you wanted, and you can write a comment to her submission, and then it will be sent to her email. So hello, Maggie.
Hi, I'm Maggie, and this week our topic is mainly about carbohydrates, protein, and
it's nice to hear how you are learning well in our topic. Okay, something like that. Okay, and then you can send it, or you can also send a reply with a video submission. So yeah, and then here is the flip code. All right, so yeah, that's how they can submit video reflections. Okay, you can also give them a prompt, like for example, here in my science, there is a prompt. What do you think about this expression? Do you think it's true or not? Then they will just discuss it. You can also ask them to discuss within the what I suggest is in your activity, for example, they will make a prompt, or they will answer a prompt and ask them to comment on 2 or 3 of their classmates' submission. Okay, so what they think about their classmates' submission. Okay, did they understand? Did they what are the things that is true or that is not true? Okay, so some discussions that you have with them. Okay, and yeah, so that's how you can engage your students with Flipgrid, how you can provide feedback also, and how you can assess your students. Okay, so yes, so basically that's it for SeeSaw and Flipgrid. Again, for SeeSaw, I use it for my student submission for like projects, images, videos, voice submission, doing a comments, and then I can right away provide feedback and also assess their skills. And for Flipgrid, I use it for my students' reflection and also to engage them with discussion. Okay, so again, if you would like to check more about this, you can check my website. It's mitchel.wordpress.com. I will be sending the link, and you can check on this. If you have more questions, you can feel free to send me a message or email me. And yeah, basically that's it for Flipgrid and for your SeeSaw. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's how I use my Flipgrid and my SeeSaw in my class and right now in remote learning. So for my students, it wasn't that hard to transition because they've been using this in our regular classes. For you, okay, you can jumpstart. You can have them start this. You can have them send voices, video submissions, and whatnot. Okay, so yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to message me in the chat box. I'll be I sent the link to my website, and also I would appreciate if you can answer the survey form for me to improve my delivery of this course, and also for your certificate. Okay, so that's it for Flipgrid and SeeSaw today. Tomorrow I'll be giving a crash course about Quizlet and Kahoot. How can you use Quizlet and Kahoot in remote learning and eventually in your classes also, okay? So I use this, and these are some tools that I use in my remote learning class. I hope that you can start. If you have any questions with using Zoom, with using Edmodo, with using Flipgrid, SeeSaw, and some other tools, feel free to email and message me, all right? So thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Again, this is Mitchel, and keep safe, have fun learning, and bye-bye.